Compassion, awareness, wisdom. Yes, yes, yes. Anyway, nice to see all your smiling faces again. I hope you had a good holiday and that you're looking forward to the new year, a year in front of you, in front of us, with all of its uncertainties and challenges. So let's just sit for a couple of minutes. So, um, as we move forward into this year, as we move forward with our practice, I think each person you have to, we all need to look at ourselves and see where we're at with our lives, with our practice. That's the thing about the new year. It's really a time for introspection and a time, and for the winter too. Winter we tend to be less busy as well, but it's a time to check in and see where we're at. It's a time maybe not to be so busy. And we've been through, it's been a year, a 2 year, 3 year for some of you with your practice, uh, your practices or these talks, and it's good to check in and see what it is that you, if I may use the word, accomplished in the last year or the last couple of years. To see what you've been able to manifest with your practice and with your life as well. Um, and I think with most of us who've been practicing for a while, hopefully you feel that there's some sort of foundation now, that you have your foundation, um, in which to develop and grow from. There's not a there's not a one size fits all. Everybody's practice and everybody's path is their individual practice and their individual path. But as we are working with it, as we are working with it, we are moving into greater access of calm and clarity and insight, I hope. So whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you? And often when we ask that question, really what comes up is where we've fallen short or where we feel we've falling short. But when we've done this practice, as long as we've done this practice, um, you are established in it, even if it doesn't always feel like it. You come back here every week, right? You come or you go and do retreats, you study, you meditate. So you are established in the practice. So I think it's really good to acknowledge that. And it's really good to, in that acknowledgement, have that sense of quietude or certainty within yourself that you have done good work and that you have laid out a foundation in your practice, and you are in the process of working with that, understanding that, stabilizing that. In a moment, in a day, things can go wrong. And you can lose your calm, you can lose your clarity, you can lose yourself, you can lose your connection, perhaps with your values, even. Hopefully not. But we lose connection with these things occasionally. But to know within yourself that you are established in this path, to recognize that aspect of yourself that has been developed, that has been planted, that has been watered, and that has been nurtured. And it's easy for us to see maybe where we have fallen short, but it's really important to see our strengths. It's, excuse me, it's really important to see the strengths that we've developed. And it's really important to revisit that every day, to come to that place every day. So we've developed, we talk about compassion, clarity, wisdom. Are our hearts more open to ourselves and to others? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But if you look at yourself, is there more empathy? Can you see how you've developed empathy? Can you see where you have developed compassion for others? Where you're more aware of those others in the room, where you're more aware of the suffering that's around you? Is that being developed? And I think for most of us, if we honestly look at that, you'll have to say yes. And that is a really great thing. That is a really marvelous thing. Are you more empathetic? Are you more compassionate? Are you more aware of the suffering that's around you? And if you are developing as a human being in a very positive way. That's worth the price of admission right there. Because, man, we look at the world around us, and do we ever need more compassion? Do we ever need more empathy? People are so cruel and so mean to each other, and the level of public discourse has fallen so greatly. There is so much anger in the world. If you are developing If you are working on compassion and empathy in your heart, it's going to sound funny, but you're on the road to sainthood. You are. You're moving towards the light. That is so important. So, whatever our shortcomings are, if you can't stay with the object of meditation, if you have flare ups, if you get to places where it's very dark or scary, that's kind of part of being human. But are you developing? Are you moving forward? That's what we're doing, hopefully, in this lifetime. And that's what we're doing here. So it's really important to, when we look at ourselves, when we take stock, when we look at ourselves moving forward in the new year, to see the foundations that we've been building. And one of them is empathy, compassion. If you are a more open and kind and compassionate person than you were a year ago or 5 years ago, congratulations. You've done good work. Can you say that to yourself? Can you just quietly sit with yourself and say, yeah, I've done some good work? Far out, huh? Because there's a lot of lives that can't say that. Mhm. Have you done any good work in the world? Not a thing. But you have. You've developed compassion. You've developed empathy. Clarity. Are you more present than you were a year or 3 years ago? I'm not asking you if you're present all the time, but are you more aware of what the mind is doing as you move through the day? Are you more aware of your patterns? Are you more aware of your shortcomings? Are you more aware of your strengths? Are you more aware of when you're caught? Are you more aware of when you're not caught? Developing that clarity, that presence of mind. Look at the suffering that we have and that others have when we're caught up in our mind. It's easy to see in others. It's easy to see within ourselves. So, with the practice of meditation, with the practice of the development of awareness, we are developing this aspect of clarity within our being, within this stream of becoming. We're developing clarity. And that clarity is the companion of compassion. When that clarity is there, we are recognizing what the mind is doing. And the more we recognize it, the more we recognize it, the more space, the more clarity we have within ourselves, and the more compassion we begin to develop. So are you more mindful? Are you more aware? Have you been developing that capacity? And you have. You have. That's far out too. With all the other things you are, with all the other things you've been doing in your life, you're strengthening compassion and clarity. That's pretty good. And you know this to be true. It's very worthwhile. Can you sit in the presence of that? Can you sit in the actuality of that right now? Can you sense that within your being? And do you understand how important it is to manifest that in the world? With your family, with your children, with your parents, with your friends. Just that space of compassion and clarity. No matter what's gone on, no matter what's gone on, when we have developed clarity, we hang on less. We know events arise and we know they pass away. And what we're left with is clarity. And in the knowing of that is the development of wisdom. Of knowing that whatever comes up, it comes and it goes. And when it's gone, you can hold on to the memory of it. But we're developing presence here. We're developing the quality of awareness where we are able to rest in that clarity. We're able to rest in that awareness. That's what we've been doing with the meditations, especially towards the back half of 2024. Haven't we? We've been working with awareness. Wisdom. Insight. Do you have more wisdom? Do you have more insight than you did a year or 3 years ago? I bet the honest answer is yes. You might not be a Buddha yet. Maybe you are. But have you developed in wisdom? You have. You have greater understanding of yourself. You have greater understanding of life. You have greater understanding of the path. I think that's true. I think that's true. Far out. Really. Think about it. As you trudge through the grocery store with your winter boots on and all of the broccoli is withered, the drudgery of your morning or your afternoon. Some days are like that, right? You know that feeling you go to the grocery store in the middle of winter, the beans are rotten, the broccoli is wrinkled, there's not a fresh fruit in sight. Oh man. And then you go to the cash and you have a bag of groceries and it's $350. But apparently there'll be an election coming up, and if we vote for the right person, everything will change. So we have that to look forward to. But the point is that through our daily lives, the ups and downs, the drudgeries and the joys of our daily life, through all of these things that take place, the good days, the bad days, the ugly days, through all of these things, we work with the practice and we are developing compassion. We are developing clarity, the capacity for greater awareness. And we are developing wisdom. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're going through, if we are working with this practice, and if we are sincere, these 3 jewels are what we are developing. So contemplate that and hold that dear. Know that you are doing something worthwhile. And move forward with it this year. You've found something of worth and you are developing it. And like I said at the beginning of the talk, everybody has their own path. So it's not up to me or somebody else to define it for you or tell you how you should do it or what it should look like. But looking within our own heart, are we seeing these attributes strengthen, develop, even shine? Yeah. So can you feel that? Can you feel the truth of that? Are you connecting with it? Can you connect with it? So as we move through 2025, and we move through in terms of my teaching with the classes and the retreats, this is what we're going to be working on. We're going to continue to develop this. We're going to work with breath, we're going to work with energy body, we're going to work with awareness, and we're going to work with compassion. And if you have ideas or topics that you would like me to explore more in the context of this path, then please just let me know. And I'll see if I have anything to say. or I'll see if I can add to the discourse on it. And to know that weathered broccoli is just a state of mind. Somewhere in that plant, there's vibrancy. We just need to look for it. We just need to look for it. And we need to look for it within ourselves. And we need to develop it within ourselves in the way that is most fit for ourselves.